Hello students, welcome to the course Verilog HDL. So today we'll start off with the unit 6, that is the part 2 of the module 3, data flow modeling, the second type of modeling in Verilog description. Okay, so what and all we discuss in this. Okay, so we'll discuss about the continuous assignments. The assign keyword is the basic here in this. Then how we specify delay to the assignment statements as we have done in gate delays. Similarly, for assignment statements we can give the delay. How to do that we'll see in the second part. Then we'll see expressions, operators and operands. Okay, so far you have seen maybe plus symbol, XOR, and so different symbols and all we have used, right? So but we have not gone in detail with this. Okay, so we'll go in detail with operator types, different operator types available in Verilog hardware description language. Okay, so before we start, so just we'll introduce what is meant by data flow modeling. For small circuits, the gate level modeling approach works very well. Okay, for small circuits, because gate level description, so it require a gate level diagram, right? So you can draw it, because the number of gates is limited and the designer can instantiate and connect every gate individually. So that's what we have seen in the exercises and examples, right? Hope you have understood that part. Also, gate level modeling is very intuitive to a designer with a basic knowledge of digital logic design. Okay, so one who has come from electronics background with a well subject knowledge of digital logic design, so how to do the logic diagram and all, so he will feel better compared to any other description, the gate level modeling. Okay, however, in complex designs, okay, so as the number of gates is more complex designs, the number of gates is very large. So as you have more number of gates, so it is very difficult to draw the circuit on paper itself, right? So it is very difficult. So in that case, so we could not rely on the gate level modeling. Okay, so thus designers can design more effectively if they concentrate on implementing the function at a level of abstraction higher than gate level. Okay, so the very lowest level we told switch level, most of the designers are not working, so we choose the gate level. So as the year passed on, as the technology got sophisticated, so our level of working got increased. So, okay, so we are coming in that hierarchy. First it was switch level, so switch level we not considered. So gate level, at least basic knowledge required, so gate level we started. So now we understood what is the complexity arised in gate level modeling. Okay, as number of gates is very large, we could not do, so we need to learn one more level of design now, which is quite higher than the gate level. Okay, so that is what about this data flow modeling. So data flow modeling provides a powerful way to implement a design. Okay, so Verilog allows a circuit to be designed in terms of the data flow. This is the definition we can say: data flow between registers and how a design processes data rather than instantiation of individual gates. Okay, so what we will do is, in the design I told you, so we'll have a logic symbol, truth table, boolean expression, gate level diagram, right? From gate level diagram you had a one-to-one correspondence with the gate level description, right? So now what we'll do, we'll go one step higher. That means gate level diagram we don't draw, just we'll concentrate on the boolean expression. Okay, so that boolean expression we try to write it in a Verilog as an assignment statements. Okay, so that assignment statements, you may be having many operands, so that will be called as the registers. That means they can hold the values. Okay, so data flow between the registers and how a design processes data. Okay, so processing of the data, that means operations we will focus on rather than calling the individual gates. Okay, so who will do this internal one, that we'll see. Okay, so there is a tools also for that. So now you are writing the boolean expression level. Okay, so next, so the tools will convert it into a gate level description. Okay, so that's what I told you, as year passed on, time passed on, and the you got tools got sophisticated, so you can go for. So now we are writing the program at data flow modeling, means there is a sophisticated tool to convert this data flow description into gate level description. Okay, so with gate densities on chips increasing rapidly, data flow modeling has assumed great importance. Okay, so gate densities means what? So number of gates per square area. Okay, so whatever that unit we will consider, so that is increasing. Okay, so because of that we have to rely on data flow modeling. So no longer can companies devote engineering resources to handcrafting entire designs with gates. Okay, so if they are putting enough amount of money, so you know that in the software or company, so you will be working on per hour basis. Okay, so per hour you may be this much dollars. Okay, so that's why they have to utilize your resources efficiently. Okay, so so since we have the data flow modeling, again we putting a lot of effort on gate instantiation, so it is no use because it will take lot of time and lot of money is in all, lot of energy is wasted. Okay, instead now they focus on the data flow modeling. So those who are working in that field, they need to update with themselves with the data flow modeling. Now it's nuts and bolts of data flow modeling. That's how the same way you are going now. You may not be working now, but you have to think in that same manner. Okay, so gate level you have understood. So now you try to understand data flow modeling. Okay, so currently automated tools are used to create a gate level circuit from a data flow design description, and this process is called as logic synthesis. So very first also I have mentioned this tool, okay, very in the module 1 unit 1. Okay, maybe a 1 month or 1.5 month back, right? If you have gone through, you may be remembering this two words, logic synthesis. Okay, so this is the tool. Once it came, it has changed, revolutionized the Verilog design flow industry. Okay, so this tool is able to convert the data flow to gate level description. That's why no need to put lot of effort in instantiating the gates. Okay, so data flow modeling has become a popular design approach as logic synthesis tools have become sophisticated. Okay, so these are giving perfect results. So that's why we can completely rely on these tools. So this approach allows the designer to concentrate on optimizing the circuit in terms of data flow. That means the Boolean expression, whatever you are writing, that you can optimize it. So if you optimize that, so statements will be optimized. So if statement is optimized, the data flow between the registers will be optimized. Okay, so that is how the level is changed now in case of optimizing the design. In the digital design community, the term RTL, okay, so this I am commonly saying, right? RTL coding we say, that means register transfer level design, is commonly used for a combination of data flow modeling and behavioral modeling. Okay, so some of the designs we can do data flow, but some designs we don't have the assign statement, Boolean expression, then we have to rely on behavioral modeling. So that's why in digital design community, so they will use the combination as RTL design. Okay, so in this unit we will focus on the data flow modeling part, and in the next module, in the beginning unit, we'll consider the behavioral modeling. Okay, so that is what our focus. Okay, so this is the present trend. Okay, so what are we going to learn? So the learning objectives, if we consider, describe the continuous assignment statement. As I mentioned, so the in gates you had 12 primitive gates, and they becomes the keyword. Okay, if they are present in the module, that means this is a gate level description you are going to identify. But now in this data flow modeling, so you will be identified by data flow modeling by only by this keyword. This keyword will be there in the beginning of every Boolean expression. So assign statement, about that we'll learn. Restriction on the assignment statement and the implicit continuous assignment statement, so its variations also we'll see. And then we will take second part, the delays. There are different delays are there. So assignment delay, implicit assignment delay, and net declaration delay. So this delay part we'll see for the continuous assignment statements. So then we'll take focus on the what is meant by an expression, operator, and operand. So in general we'll define, and then we'll go through the operators types. So huge operator types are there. So we'll learn it one by one with an example. Okay, so for example, arithmetic, logical, relational, equality operators, bitwise operators, reduction operators, shift operators, and then concatenation operators and conditional operators. So these are many operators we have. So that we'll go through in the last part. Okay, and finally, so having this knowledge, so you are constructing your own digital circuits, use data flow constructs to model practical desired circuits in Verilog. So whatever we have seen in gate level modeling, the same program may take, and we'll show you how it is simple to model in data flow modeling. Okay, So with this introduction, so we'll start off with the first part of this topic, that is continuous assignment statement. Assign keyword, about that we will study in this video. Okay. Continuous assignments. Okay. A continuous assignment is the most basic statement in data flow modeling used to drive a value onto a net. Okay. So just whatever output it will come, so just it will try to drive that value to the output net. Okay. So that is the continuous assignment, and this assignment replaces gates in the description of the circuit and describes the circuit at a higher level of abstraction. Okay. So you don't have any instantiation of gate no more in this. So just you will have the assign keyword with the Boolean expression. Okay. The assignment statement starts with the keyword assign. That's what I told you. So this modeling keyword is assign. Okay. So you can remember throughout this unit. So how is the syntax? Okay. And examples we'll see, try to understand this. So continuous assignments. So just looking at the syntax, you may be not understanding, but just go through. So when you see the example, you'll come to know. So continuous assign. Okay. So you'll be having some variable, then assign keyword you will use, and then these are optional. Okay. So drive strength, delay. Okay. So delay part we will see in second part. Drive strength like weak 0, strong 0, that also you can assign here. Then list of net assignments like a plus b, a minus b, like you are writing the assignments now, so that you are writing here. So assign this equal to that. Okay. So like that you are writing the statement expression that we are writing. So in list of net assignments, what you have is the net assignment. Okay. Of each of the variables. So in net assignment, you will have the values, or it is equal to expression. Okay. So one inside that it is written. So nothing but list of net assignments is nothing but an expression. Okay. So it may be any combination of operands, operators, that will called as an expression. So that it will going to come. Okay. We'll see the example, not much focus on this syntax. Okay. Notice that drive strength is optional. Okay. So here drive strength is optional and can be specified in terms of strength levels. You have seen the 8 different strength levels in data types. Okay. The default value for drive strength is a strong 1 and strong 0. Okay. So this you can observe when we do the lab. Okay. So ST0. Okay. So it will be like that, and you force the value. Okay. In clock. So it will write like this, ST0, ST1. That means what? So it is the strong 1 and strong 0 default value. Okay. The delay value is also optional and can be used to specify delay on the assignment statement. Okay. So delay you can specify, not compulsory. If you wish to do, that is a chance is there, you have to do after this strength. Okay. So that is about that. So this is like specifying delays for gates. Okay. That we will see in the second part. So what are the characteristics? Okay, so continuous assignment character. So this is what we are going to learn in this module. So just try to understand its characteristics so that it is better understood to you. The left hand side of an assignment must always be a scalar. So remember this, scalar or vector net, or a concatenation of scalar and vector nets. Okay, so it cannot be a scalar or vector register. So you could not declare that operand on the left side as register. Okay, so careful when you are declaring it in the beginning. So you should do, that's why. So output will be declared as nets only here. Okay, so that is the thing. Second, continuous assignments are always active. So they are always active, meaning the assignment expression is evaluated as soon as one of the right hand side operands changes and the value is assigned to the left hand side net, as in the case of gates, right? So a monitor statement you have seen, as soon as it values changes. Okay. So for example, you have a y equal to a and b. Okay. So AND gate you have. So a and b, you know the different values it will take. So initially if it is 0, suddenly if you change the value of b to 1, so immediately this value will be assigned to this left side statement. Okay. That's why it is called as active. Always it is active. And and the value is assigned to the left hand. So that is what about this. Okay, any value 0 1 1 0 1 1, as soon as the value changes, it will assign it. Okay. So this is the second characteristic of the continuous assign statement. So third characteristic, the operands on the right hand side can be registers or nets or function calls. So right side you can have nets as well as registers also. You can declare it as a register, so no problem. Also function calls. So maybe in C programs and all you are writing when you are finding square root of. Okay, okay. So like that functions you are using. That means you are calling some function, so that will be implemented somewhere. So that we have in here tasks. Okay, in Verilog, we'll take up there what is meant by function calls and all. But here when we are discussing, so we are mentioning that. Okay, so it can be okay function calls. Registers or nets can be scalars or vectors. Even they can be scalars or vectors, no issues. So fourth one, delay values. With respect to delay values, can be specified for assignments in terms of time units, as I mentioned in gates also, right? It is not with any second or something, just time units. So delay values are used to control the time when a net is assigned to the evaluated value. So to control the line of statement, okay, so we will write the delay. Okay, so after this line, because continuous statements are always active, so it will compute it, but the delay when it should assign to the statement left side, so that we can control by giving the delay. Okay, so this feature is similar to specifying delays for gates. It is very useful in modeling timing behavior in real circuits. Okay, so these are the four characteristics of a continuous assignment statements. Okay, so now just we'll try to understand this different assign statements and its variation. So this is the example here of continuous assignment. Okay, out is a net here and I1 I2 are also nets, so assign. So this is how we'll write the statement. Okay, so in your boolean expression, if you have some statement, so we'll have the assign, then this the operands. These are the three operands. So in between whatever it comes, these are operators, and this together, okay, operands and operators. So this is also an operator like assignment operator. So operators and operands, we call it as the expressions. Okay, so that's why boolean expression can be easily converted into a data flow modeling. Okay, so that's why operators, operand and all we will see in the third part. Okay, so there you will understand about this. Okay, so this is how we write the continuous assignment statement. So similarly, continuous assign for vector nets. Okay, so here address is a 16-bit vector net. Address 1 and address 2 are 16-bit vector registers. So I have one vector example here. So assign, keyword is the assign. Then address of net, so 15 is to 0 will be address 1 of 15 is to 0 XORed with address 2 of 15. That means 16-bit you can immediately do. Okay, so for example, if I take like this, okay, like 16 bits, similarly another 16 bits. So this is address 1, this is address 2, and these two values will be computed and it will be stored in address. Okay, so that is what the meaning of this. Okay, then one more example, concatenation. Left hand side is a concatenation of a scalar net and a vector net. Okay, so see here assign. So this flower bracket, we'll learn about this in operators. It is a concatenation operator. So C out comma sum of 3 is to 0. In full adder, 4-bit full adder we have seen. C out is a, so that means when you do the addition 1 1 1 0 1 0 1 0 like this. Okay, so there will be a addition output. It will be 4-bit sum, and there may be carry generated out of this. So this output should be displayed like this, 5-bit only. So to do that, so C out will be returned first here, then concatenated with sum 3 bits. So sum and concatenated. So to get this output, what you will do? So you'll write A is 4-bit, B is 4-bit, and C. So this is one line statement. Okay. So whatever we are writing a full adder, one full complete video we have done. Okay, and design, and we have written the program in gate level modeling, right? So that we can do it in a single line now. Okay, so that we'll see in the examples. So these are the examples for continuous assign statements. Okay, so now we'll see these statements with little variations. Okay, first one, implicit continuous assignment. Okay, so what is implicit mean? Just we'll try to understand. Instead of declaring a net and then writing a continuous assignment on the net, Verilog provides a shortcut by which a continuous assignment can be placed on a net when it is declared. So as in the C program, when you are declaring int a, okay, and then you are giving a equal to 10, that you can combine as int a equal to 10. The same way here, so where you are declaring it as net, okay, so why are a equal to, straight away you can do that. Okay, that is what this implicit meaning. There can be only one implicit declaration assignment per net because a net is declared only once. Okay, so this is the cautious. will see the example. So we'll have a regular continuous assignment here. So where wire out, okay, so first line is wire out, and then I have used a assign keyword, assign out equal to in1 and in2. So this I can replace it with this statement. Okay, so I am not using the assign keyword here, wire out equal to in1 and in2. So when you do that, so here assign keyword is not there, you may confuse. So this which type of description? It is an data flow description only, and assign is implicit. Okay, so it is there inside. Okay, so internally it is nothing but an assign statement only. So when you club this declaration and assignment, so it is called as implicit continuous assignment. Okay, so hope it is understood. So similar way, we have another variation when you declare this assign, implicit net declaration. Okay, so now we have seen implicit assign. Now similarly, when we use assign some output, it will be considered as a net data type. Okay, if a signal name is used to the left of the continuous assignment, an implicit net declaration will be inferred for that signal name. So you have not declared that previous case wire out, right? So that I have not declared it all. Directly I write assign out equal to the meaning. So out should be, as per the condition, out should be a net, right? So implicitly it will consider it as net. That's what implicit net declaration. If the net is connected to a module port, the width of the inferred net is equal to the width of the module port. Okay, so just we'll try to understand with this example, implicit net declaration. So this wire I1 I2 I have declared, and then I am writing assign out equal to I1 and I2. Okay, so here out I have not declared as wire. Okay, so meaning here is, so this is an wire. Note that out was not declared as a wire, but an implicit wire declaration for out is done by the simulator. Okay, so this is about the continuous assignment statements, how we write assign. And then it's two variations, implicit assign statement, implicit net declaration. Okay, so with this we have completed the first part of this data flow modeling, that is continuous assignments. So in the next video we'll look at the how you specify delays to these statements. Okay, thank you, we'll see in the next video.